The R6 Marketplace is coming out June 25th, a few weeks after the new season, which releases June 11th. I've had access to the R6 Marketplace beta ever since the day one release, so I believe that I know some things. Mainly because I have tons of transactions, and I want to go over some do's, some don'ts, and how the R6 Marketplace works, and what you should expect as a consumer, as a seller, and as a buyer. Let's get into it. Now, how does the R6 Marketplace work? Let's put it in the most basic way possible. Let's say right now, I want to go ahead and buy or sell this R4C Black Ice. As a seller, what I would do first is look at the current price range. This is a good dictator of what skins sell for, and usually what they sell for all the time. You're never going to want to look at the highest price range, because some people might have this listed at the highest price range, but that doesn't mean it's going to sell. The next thing I'm going to look at is the number of purchase orders and sales orders. So as you can see right now, the R4C has way more purchase orders than sales orders. And that means that this is a high demand skin, but at the same time, it could be just a lot of people putting in very low bids for a skin that goes for almost 2,700 R6 credits. So right now, if I was to sell this skin right now, I would place it at $26.99. And the way the R6 Marketplace works is it's all based on buy orders. So it's basically a first come, first serve. As a seller, if I place this at $26.99 and 3,672 of the purchase orders are all for the same exact number, which is the $26.99, which by the way, it won't be, then that means the very first person who put in a buy order for this gun skin will get it, and then it will move on forward. So for example, if someone is right now setting a price range to sell this at, let's say, 100,000 R6 credits, then it won't sell, let's be honest. But it will stay there on the shelf waiting. And as soon as a few people come in to try to buy it, let's say, for example, someone puts it up for a buy order for 100,000, they will get the skin right away, since they were the only person to ever put up that buy order for something that expensive. And that's because there was no demand in terms of buying, of course. So as you can tell, if me and my 4 friends right now, we wanted to get a skin like, for example, a crossfader, but we wanted to pay lower price on it. And we assume that this crossfader, with the new marketplace coming out for everybody, that this skin is going to drop in price. So what we're going to do is we're going to put a bid for 3,000 R6 credits, because that's what we think this skin is worth. With a group of people doing that, let's say me and my 4 friends, we all did it. I started off putting my bid at 3,000 first. Second friend did it the next day. Third friend did it the next day after that day. And then last friend did it a month later. Well, it's going to be a while before we find somebody that will sell it that cheap. But let's just say someone listed one for finally 3,000 R6 credits. Guess who would get it first? Of course, it would be me, because I had the longest pending order waiting to be fulfilled. And after 30 days, if no one lists a skin for that amount of price, then my order gets canceled. So I hope this explains it in the most simple way. It's basically a supply and demand type thing, and you need to be there first come, first serve to receive the skin at whatever desired price. Now, for a lot of you guys that's going to go into this marketplace, you're going to know that a lot of the skins are going to be super expensive, like for example, Glacier, but you're going to see a huge price drop in them. So a lot of you guys are going to probably try to snipe skins, which means you're going to try to get them for a crazy cheap price. Now, do you see how this R4C is selling for 69,000 R6 credits? Well, any genius is going to go in there and just type in 695. And what they're going to do is just wait for somebody to slip up and either miss a zero or don't put in zeros at all, and they press place order. For example, I've seen a lot of people do like the 6950. And this is a good method, but the thing is, there's 100, maybe even thousands of other people doing the same exact thing, waiting and hoping that somebody slips up for a price that's underneath this. So you have to realize that this only happens once in a little while, and this is where the peer-to-peer trading aspect needs to come into play with the R6 marketplace. Now, if you are wanting to trade a skin onto one of your other accounts, for example, you have a Smurf or you have just an old account that you don't play on anymore and you have a main account and you wanted to sell Glacier to yourself, don't do it. Now, the reason why I'm saying this is because if you put a low number, let's say like 6, 7, 5, whatever, this is a very random odd number, right? And you would assume that you would be able to just place the order and sell it to yourself. But the problem is with this, guys, is there are softwares out there right now that basically snipes these low number glaciers so they can resell and make a profit. So just don't even risk the opportunity of losing a skin, because this gun skin is in high demand, as you can tell. 71 sale orders, and notice how there's no purchase orders at the moment, and that's because people are paying full price. That basically lets you know that a skin isn't sitting. If we go over to the universal skins, there's a lot of these skins that people are going to be just throwing money. And here's the main reason why I'm making this video, is I don't want you guys to go ahead and spend all your money, like $500 to $1,000 on R6 credits just for 2 skins. And I know that might seem like something that seems reasonable in terms of, because you might have not able to ever got these skins, but the problem is this is the silliest decision you can make. Let's look at some of the skins that just recently dropped on the R6 marketplace that were seasonals. So if we head over here, we can see that there's fluctuating in price. For example, we have this Rengu. I'm just gonna shut up. We have a Nami. We have an Unami right now that's selling for 28,000 R6 credits. Now, I'm willing to bet that there's quite a bit of people that's watching this video that had the skin and don't even care about it. So I feel like a lot of people are going to go into this season selling this skin exactly for way under the 28,000. Because since this is beta, there's only a limited amount of people that really do have access to this skin. So I'm willing to bet by the time the new season comes out, this skin will be selling for under 10,000 R6 credits. Same with every other skin that we have here. Now, what should you do as a buyer? Well, here's one thing I would know. The first week is going to be probably the most hype, and I feel like that's when it's going to crash the market overall. The most sought after skin is, of course, Glacier for the R4C and just Glacier in general. But this is a good time to go after skins that you don't already own that you really want. For example, let's say that you never had Crossfader. This is a very sought after skin as well, and I bought it for around 6,000 to 7,000, I believe, and it's last selling at 5,900. You can see that slowly the skin is dying out in price and it's less sought after. So I lost out on money and R6 credits overall. But that's okay, because you can learn from my stupid mistakes. Next, this Leon, I can't even, I'm not even gonna try to enunciate it, guys, okay? I bought this, I believe, for an 8 to 9K as well, and it's selling for 5,200 already. Like, I lost out on money. And do I think that these skins are gonna be more sought after? No. I feel like it's just gonna keep crashing because everybody wants the same skins. So what skins should you guys really go for? Well, I feel like some really underrated transactions that I've made, and let's go down right now. I bought every single standard operator portrait for the Halloween set for around 120 to 130 R6 credits, which in general, you can't lose money on this because this is the lowest amount that I can sell for. And let's be honest, in game, when you open packs, each pack is around, I believe, 600 to 800 R6 credits. From what I remember, maybe even 1,200, I don't know. So I was willing to spend the lowest amount on that. In terms of black ices, I did probably overspend on some of them, like the 416 is 795. Now, I want to actually see what this is selling for at the moment. It last sold at 390. So do you notice how hype goes into a lot of factors for this? A lot of these skins and stuff were just super hyped. Now, some things you want to look out for right now is all the old Pro League sets. So for example, my favorite was this Legion Penta set, and that's only because of how I used to own it back in 2018 on one of my old accounts, but I can't get it. As you can tell, it's last sold at 519, but in terms of anything Pro League related, as you can tell, there's only 5 purchase orders and 18 sale orders. That means there's 5 people with random prices in the price range, probably under the 519/520, that is trying to buy this skin, and there's 18 sales orders probably sitting at 520. Right now, it's not very sought after, but there's going to be such a limited quantity of skins like this that I was willing to pay over the amount. Now, even though I lost out on the R6 credits, I do believe that skins like this will go up in price over time. And a huge one, once again, in my opinion, I'm just saying in my opinion in general, is any single silly Amazon Prime bundle that we've received. For example, the Mozzie pizza skin. Now, I spent 500 on this and it's now selling for 350. I think that these are must buys. Now, even though it was free, basically, if you had Amazon Prime, I just think that this is one of those things that will never come back into the game. So it is definitely worth buying, and it's such a fun skin. It's definitely worth the money to buy something like that rather than spending $600 on literal silly glacier for one skin. As you can tell, I bought this seasonal as well called Ocean's Teeth. It's selling for 200 right now. I spent 400. I still think it's worth it. A lot of these skins are going to sell for bare minimum, so a lot of people are going to just go after the sought after skins. So go for all the skins that you want, that you can use, and even the charms that you can use in game universally, whether it's universal skins or just charms or cool headgears, because I feel like that's where people are going to be sleeping. Let's talk about some things that I would suggest buying. Now, attachment skins are a no-brainer in my opinion. For some reason, this skin is still going for 3,900. I have no idea why, but you see how many people are selling it? 1,200, and there's no buy orders. Who is wanting this universal skin that bad that they're willing to spend that much R6 credits? This just means that this is going to plummet in price long term. Same with Plasma Pink, and it's selling for so low right now, which is 880. All of these, I feel like, are going to start selling under 300 for the like really expensive ones. So just keep an eye out for all of these skins, because you can easily get every attachment skin that you haven't received or you missed out on. The next thing is charms. Now, the good thing about this, you can actually filter out to year 1, year whatever year. And for me, I picked up a lot of charms that I used to have on my old account on console, and what I actually did was start buying every single thing, because all of them are selling at a low minimum of 120, and that is definitely worth the amount that they're selling for. Even like these dock icons, I think that I can definitely get 120 for all of these icon operators, and these look absolutely amazing on guns, guys. Same with the skeleton. Same with all the old gadgets, like for example the castle barricade, the Twitch drones. Like all of these look so good on your gun. So these are definitely worth the minimum of 120. Like you can buy probably like the base minimum of like, you know, let's say like 3,000 credits, and you could get so much stuff just out of that. Don't overhype stuff like the glacier and whatnot. I would definitely suggest also going over to the event shop, and this is where you're going to get some steals. I believe that the Teddy Conflict and Sugar Fry are probably the most underrated skins that you can be buying right now, and most of them sell. Even the Kitty Cat drone that's selling for 350 and has 287 sales orders. Chachanka headgear, all of these are going to probably go down to 120 credits if they're not already. And I bought every single one of them, even the Muppets headgear, which people are just going to try to throw away this stuff because they're super silly and they just want one cool looking skin that's overhyped. Definitely not worth it. Now, if you really want a good sought after skin that is OG and is pretty rare, I think Goldust is going to be one of those skins. Now, let's look at the price of them right now. I already bought 2 of them and lost out on a few thousand R6 credits. Once again, learned from my mistakes. But for example, one of the most sought after is the R4C, and it's at 19,000 right now. I've seen this skin when it first dropped selling for 50,000 to 70,000. Right now, there's 107 sales orders. So if you guys want to buy this, at the time of the release of this video, afterwards of when R6 Marketplace comes out, I do believe that this is going to be selling for under 10,000 R6 credits, because there's going to be so many people that just don't like it, think it's overrated, and they're just going to try to dump it. These Golda skins are so freaking good. Same with the 416, the AK, all of these skins that's still selling for over 10,000, and especially the MP5, which I'm going to be personally waiting for. I believe that this MP5 skin is going to probably be selling under 8,000 after the marketplace comes out. I believe that everything will drop in price because people are so blindsided at what they're trying to buy. Now, another underrated one is going to be your favorite Pro League sets. Now, right now, even phase stuff isn't selling for that much, and cool. But there's some really expensive ones that first came out that's OG as heck that a lot of people are now starting to just throw away. So let's head over and look. See this Disrupt skin? This was the original OG skin. This is selling for 120. Now, this is kind of like a knockoff Goldust, but it's actually pretty fire. And I'm not even saying that because I was part of Disrupt at one point. Same with even like the Jackal skin. And the reason why this is so profitable for you guys to buy is because these bundles sell in the shop for over 1,000 each for an entire bundle. And you can save basically half of that by buying the card, the headgear, the body, and then I believe that all of these will be selling for half of what they're going for right now. So even though this is 700, 600, 190, if you're in the beta right now, you can make a profit technically. I believe that these are going to go for way less than what it is right now. Probably around 400 to maybe 300 to maybe even 120. So just keep an eye on what the Pro League section is going for. And another one I want to point out is probably the Team Empire skins. These were some of my favorite skins, like for example, the Bandit gear. It looks so freaking good, guys. Don't be scared to just go ahead and buy some of these because it's definitely worth the money. But I do believe that these are also going to drop because right now they are sitting as well. What's even more insane is you can actually get Battle Pass stuff off of the R6 Marketplace. So if there was some gun skins and stuff that you didn't like get, for example, some of these gun skins have a different design on the gun, you can get them for relatively super cheap, like bare minimum cheap, like 120. And a lot of the card backgrounds and stuff like that do go for super low. So this is something I would suggest looking out for if you just got into Siege. Even though they are like Battle Pass skins and you did technically get them free, these are like some of the only animated skins in the game. Like for example, this Zofe R. Now, if you guys are looking to buy and make some R6 credits, if you do have the R4C Glacier, I would highly suggest selling it since it is at an all-time high and it's super expensive at the moment. Like if I'm converting this into real money, this is like almost $600 Canadian to buy the R4C. So why wouldn't you sell something like this and then just buy every other skin that you ever wanted? Like you can literally do that with 70,000 R6 credits. It would only make sense in my personal opinion because the hype is a real thing. And there was a charm when the R6 Marketplace came out that was selling for over 100,000 R6 credits. And people were eating that up. They were buying and selling this stuff. And look at what it's at now. This is a Twitch drop skin that's selling for 9,500 R6 credits. This thing was once selling at its max 150 when the first week of the beta came out. So just don't let the hype feed into that idea because 1,500 R6 credits is like $1,500 Canadian, somewhere around there. I can't do the math off the top of my head. You know, I also was sitting here with an active order for Glacier for the AUG because I've recorded this video like 3 different times. So I just put it in to show an example. And if someone buys this or sells this for 140, I'm gonna die laughing. But guys, if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure that you guys like, sub, and comment. Let me know your thoughts and opinions on the R6 Marketplace and what things you are going to buy and what things you aren't going to buy. Besides that, guys, thank you so much for watching and have a good day.